it's always an interesting night when any teams match up in the Badger, but especially Monroe and Stoughton, and it was the typical back and forth. And you guys looked pretty good, I think up 7 in the third quarter, and then they got the backdoor feed and then turned things around. I mean, did you expect that Latimer's backdoor throw to Kind was going to be the one that kind of spark him?
No, I didn't expect that, and we knew anytime Stoughton plays Monroe, whether it's in Monroe or whether it's in Stoughton, it's always a 32-minute battle. And I thought our kids played pretty well in spurts tonight. Monroe was the tougher team, and I should say tougher on a more consistent basis. And ultimately, was able to execute at a little bit higher level than we were. I thought our kids battled. I thought we scratched. I thought we clawed. I thought we competed. I thought we played hard, but I didn't think we always played smart. And there was a key possession there where we were up 7, where we took a shot. At the end, with about 25 seconds left, and it doesn't go down, and then they end up coming down and getting a bucket and cutting it to 5. But even having said that, they made some plays and were ultimately able to out-execute us towards the finish.
You were able to keep Latimer at bay for most of the night, and then but Barronclaw had probably his best game of the season. I guess you come to expect that somebody somewhere in that Monroe lineup's going to come through with a big game, and Alex kept him in it.
Yeah, and you look at Alex as a kid that's been there for 4 years, and Monroe as a team. They start 5 seniors. They're no stranger to the Badger South Conference. We got a couple sophomores in our starting lineup that are getting their first real taste of varsity basketball right now, and that's no excuse. And we also have some juniors and seniors that have been around, but ultimately haven't been through some of these grinded out games. And we're figuring it out that it's a 32-minute deal every time you take the floor in this conference. And a lot of times, we've always said, it's not always physical toughness that wins in this conference. It's mental toughness as well. And you got to have both physical and mental toughness for 32 minutes. And against a fundamentally sound Coach Murphy team like Monroe, sometimes that's a tough deal to achieve.
And the mental toughness probably manifested in the final couple minutes. There were a couple possessions where you were working for the good shot. The second one you were working for a 3, it looked like, and ball rotation. They might call something, they might not, in terms of a ball loose in the air, but they didn't, and it went the other way.
Well, and you got to fight through that. By no means do the officials decide this game. There's always 3 to 4, and sometimes more critical possessions where officials play a big role in the outcome. But officials didn't decide this game, as we've always talked about. We have to overcome different calls and different possessions where sometimes we're not at our best. We like to try and be at our best when things aren't, or when things are at their worst. And ultimately tonight, there were a few possessions where we still maintained the lead, and things didn't go our way, and we didn't respond the way that we're capable of responding. So as I told our kids, this season and this Badger South Conference race, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We got 7 quality teams, and if you look at some of the scores from around our conference, each night, whenever there's a Badger South Conference game, anything can happen. So we'll take what we did tonight, learn from it, try and respond. And I will say this: I wouldn't want to go through our marathon with any other 16 guys in uniform and with my coaching staff. I wouldn't have it any other way than to have those guys in our locker room, regardless of tonight's outcome. I'm very proud of their effort. We just got to clean things up from the mental toughness end of things, and we'll see where we're at come February and March.
Sounds good, Matt. Great ball game, a fun one for the fans. I know for you coaches, it was probably a gut wrencher, but it always is in the Badger.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And any time Stoughton and Monroe come, I don't know if you've charted or the last few years, I venture to say there's been more games that have been decided in the final 2 minutes than there's been that have been decided in the first half. So.
Well, hey, Matt, have a great holiday and good luck the rest of the season.
All right, thank you.